Some people are going to date you and some people aren't.
The guy looking from the back, he's like...
So.
Hey guys, welcome to Nicole Reacts, where Nicole react to online marketing guru trainings that I find on the internet. My qualifications for Snark are that I've owned a marketing company for the last 14 years and have been actively working with clients pretty much all of that time. So this is the editing version of myself because the Tai Lopez video was getting a little bit long. So this is going to be part 2. So if you missed part 1, Tai Lopez was essentially laying the groundwork for us to start a side business doing social media marketing and promised us that we could make up to $10,000 a month without having to know much of anything. So we're going to pick up where we left off, and I'm counting income claims. So we had 18 income claims in the previous video. So that's where I'm going to start the count here. So enjoy the show and see you on the other side.
I'm going to map it out. Now remember this. This is the complete formula. I already talked about this. So, but I got to show you each component, how to do them. So I'm showing you how to do this one. All I got time today is just to show you this. I don't have time to do this and this. And I hope you know what a career is. That's what you learn in the school system.
God, these people who are like, you should pay me to teach you, hate the school system so much. It's so funny.
The school system teaches you that one. That's what's messed up about the school system. As you can see here, I've clearly shown there's 1, 2, 3.
Listen, being a teacher or being in the school system is really hard. Because what teachers and other support staff are dealing with is that a lot of kids are not even getting their basic needs met. So like during the pandemic, you know, when people were at home, a lot of local schools started using, you know, the busing system and the cafeteria staff to deliver meals to kids at home because maybe they wouldn't get them those meals otherwise. You know, some kids have, you know, general problems at home with their parents, or, you know, we need to figure out accommodations for learning disabilities to get it so that their reading comprehension gets better than it currently is because they're in high school and they're reading at the 4th grade level or something like that, right? So, you know, I was lucky enough to have parents who understood things like compound interest. They set up my first retirement account when I was 16, and I've been putting money into it ever since, even with my first jobs. So I think we should be teaching this stuff in school, but I think acting as if everybody should be Tai Lopez and that is going to make American education better is not accurate.
I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 components of financial freedom. They only give you one. So why do you think everybody's broke? It's like if you give somebody...
Why are we poor? I don't know. Maybe these large corporations could start paying their fair share of taxes. Maybe we could have universal health care because most people go bankrupt because of a medical issue in the United States. There's lots of reasons why we're poor. It's not because we're not all starting SMMAs. That's not
a shovel, but it's just the handle, and it doesn't have the shovel at the end. So school gives you one little part and just goes, go survive, and everybody's having a heart attack every month because they're broke.
Yeah, and they're broke because we live in a broken system that our money is all tied up in the wrong things. We're all working, and you know, I'm getting taxed as a self-employed person at 35%, and Jeff Bezos is paying 0% in taxes. Tell me how that makes any sense.
Okay, so let's talk about what you know how to do this. I'm gonna tell you how to do this. The school system, your parents and community paid about $200,000 if you live in the U.S. in tax dollars for you to get your elementary, junior high, and high school education. Do you think you got your money worth?
Shut up.
200. They should have just given people the 250 grand. You'd be a millionaire to retire.
So he didn't finish his thing and now he's drinking tea. I don't know. It seems like you can't even finish a beverage, so maybe you shouldn't be on people for finishing high school.
So this is what I would do. Right here. This is the formula for 2A, your second active income source.
Also, I bet you a 6-pack of your favorite beverage that if he was a teacher in a school system for 1 week, he couldn't handle it. He could not handle it. I would be like, hey, Tai Lopez, you can teach economics for a week at an American high school. Good luck. Good luck meeting the demands of that. Good luck meeting the emotional and other needs of your students. Good luck with all of it, because I don't think he could handle it.
I think this is the best one I know for the masses to use, meaning this pretty much works for everybody in every city, in every country, of almost every age. It's ain't going to work for you if you're 5 or something. And it may not work if you're 98 in a rocker, in a walker or a rocker, I guess. But this will work male, female, black, Spanish, white. Works in London. It works in Australia. I just had a kid here, 17, flew here from Melbourne, Australia. He's making $17,000 a month Australian. That's about $12,000, I think, US. He's 17. The dude ain't even out of high school. He's making more than all his teachers. So that works in Australia. It'll work in Asia, Africa. I can't think of a...
Yeah, it worked with one kid in Australia. Was there more than one person? I mean, something working for one person, honestly, is not an impressive track record for me. But
place, you may need to adjust it a little bit. South America for sure. So here's what I got a guy, one of my top performing people in this system right here. I'm teaching you a system, by the way.
Oh, okay.
The only system
we haven't learned anything yet. We just know we need active and passive income. That's all we've learned. So I don't know what system you're going to teach us in the remaining time, but if it's going like the first part of this presentation, I'm really not expecting to learn much.
We learned growing up was the system of 9-to-5 job. That's a system, meaning it's complete A to Z. You go to high school, you go to college, you get a bachelor's, you do a job interview, you show up, you have HR benefits, insurance, like all that. That's a system. It's a complete thing. So I'm going to show you a different system. Well, what I said is, here's what you do. You are surrounded by businesses. Okay? Trust me. Everywhere in the world, even little communities, you got a pizza place, you got a grocery store. There's insane amount of businesses all around you. So let's just say within 25 miles of you. You can start this way. Eventually you can expand and go global if you want. You go within 25 miles, there's probably at least 100 businesses. Okay? And that's not counting internet businesses. I'm talking about physical businesses. You can also go after internet businesses too. So there's 100 businesses within 25 miles of you. Okay. I'm counting dentists, doctor's office, because
they always bring up dentists, always.
Construction companies, landscaping, realtors. There's more than 100. But let's just say where I live here in LA, within 20 miles, there's at least 100,000 businesses. But I'm just doing this for everybody, no matter where you live.
Okay.
So you go to them. What's their number one problem?
They want to make more money.
A dentist, a doctor, if you ask a restaurant, you ask a sushi place, you ask number one thing, you go, what do you wish you had more of? They go, customers. We want more customers.
Customers then, yeah. Because
pizza place, you go to the average pizza place, it's like half full. Not every table's taken. Every business person wants every possible customer they can there all the time.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Customers equals money.
So they want customers, paying customers.
Yeah.
So all you do is say, yo, I know how to get you paying customers. And I charge $1,000 to $10,000 a month to do it for you. And out of every 7 of those businesses you talk to, I have a script that I give people. I train them for 4 months. After every 7 people you talk to, on average, 1 will say, sure.
I'm picturing me going up to 7 businesses in my small town and being like, hey, I can get you more customers if you pay me $1,000 to $10,000 a month. A lot of them, like that, $1,000 a month is like their entire marketing budget, especially if they're a very small business or their margins are smaller. Like, I would love to watch Tai Lopez try to close deals in my very small town.
And write you a check for one. I recommend 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, or 10,000. And here's the crazy thing. On recurring, meaning it automatically rebills them every month, every 30 days. Okay? So.
Okay, well, you said at the beginning of this particular part that I needed absolutely no experience. So how am I going to get them paying customers?
You go here, you say, for $1,000 to $10,000 a month, I'll get you more paying customers.
How many more paying customers?
You get one customer, let's say for $2,500. Now you're at $2,500 a month, as long as you can keep that customer happy. The next month.
How do you keep them happy if you don't know what you're doing? So, this is awful. No wonder people, when I talk to them, are a little reticent to hire me if they don't know me as a person.
If you get one more, let's say you land a big one, 5,000. Now you're at 7,500 a month. That doesn't always happen. Maybe you land a little one, 1,000. So you're at 3,500. You just keep doing this step by step. In 18 months, I know people in 18 months, they're basically retiring.
Why are we retiring? Isn't this supposed to be our second active source of income? Why are we retiring?
It's insane. One guy that was here, I don't know if you remember on my Snapchat about 6 months ago. You know what this dude did? He followed my exact formula, my scripts. He got in my test group that I did in 2016. He was one of the first of 30,000 people that went in. He goes in there. He learns it all. He builds a company that's making, I don't know, $100,000 or $200,000 a year. He sells it for $400,000. Somebody bought his marketing agency, because this is a marketing agency that you build to solve a problem for businesses. And guess what? He took the 400,000. This is in Australia. He's an Australian kid.
Is it the same Australian kid?
He bought, this guy's 25 or less. He bought a 400,000. He took all the money. I wouldn't have done it this way, but he hadn't taken my real estate course. I would have showed him how to do it better, but
he knows everything about real estate too. I mean, of course he does. He knows everything about everything.
He did it pretty good. He took the 400,000. He bought this house somewhere in Melbourne historical area that he's now renovating. It's worth 700,000. So now he doesn't quite have $1 million, but in Australia, the dude's 25. He got 700,000. I'm like,
no, he has an asset worth $700,000. That's not liquid. He has to find someone willing to pay $700,000 for it to have $700,000. But he has an asset that is theoretically worth that. Different.
I met him walking down the street. He came up to me. I was eating in Melbourne, and he goes, yeah, I'm like bored. I'm like, why? He's like, well, I did what you said. I built an agency. I sold it to another agency, bought me out for 400,000. I bought this place. Now it's worth 700,000. And he's literally like, isn't that a good problem to have? You're bored because money's not a problem anymore.
At the beginning, he said that we were all broke and bored. So now we're going to be rich and bored. Like I said, if you're bored, that's on you, generally.
I hope each of you, have that problem.
Yeah, me too, man.
That you're just like, you know what, Tai, I'm just bored because I got so much money. So that's what this guy is. He's not a billionaire. He's not Mark Zuckerberg, but he has 700,000, and he has it in real estate. That ain't bad, right? So here's what you do. Somebody asked the important question. I see this on YouTube. Somebody goes, but how do you get them to pay? How do you get the businesses to paying customers?
Yeah, how do I do the thing I told them I was going to do? Excellent question.
This doesn't work if you can't get businesses paying customers. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So don't just think you can just do this without any training. I mean, you can. This guy.
You said at the beginning we could do this without knowing anything. And we could do it in any market if we're any age, except if we were 5 or 90. But in the middle of that, we could do it. And that we didn't have to have an office or other overhead to do. So, okay, so what do we actually need to do it? If you said we don't need to know anything, oh no, but now we need training. Let me guess, you have training to sell us.
Guy says 700K isn't enough to relax. It is if you're 23 and you have zero expenses. What's your budget, dude? This guy's like 700,000. I know this. If I'd have been 23 with 700 grand, and remember, he has it in real estate, so the real estate's worth 700 grand. Plus, it's spitting off monthly income.
I thought he was renovating it. So it's already making income, so it's done being renovated.
That's freedom right there. A lot of you are slaves. You're what I call salary slaves. You're lifestyle slaves, you know? Like everything sucks. Modern slavery exists literally still in the world. People
I like how he keeps trying to drink and then keeps forgetting to drink. Enjoy that with me.
are still. I'm reading a book that won a Pulitzer Prize on slavery, the slave trade in the 1600s in New England. But man, there's a whole nother kind of slavery that nobody's talking about, which is you hate what you're doing. Having a job is not slavery. So you can have a 9 to 5 that you like a lot. Some people love their life, but I'm saying at least 80% of people in most surveys say they hate their job. So 80% of people are basically.
Is it that 80% hate the job, or 80% of people would like to have their own business? Because I know that sounds like the same thing, but it's kind of not.
Slaves. So this guy has 700 grand. At 23, if you invest that right, by the time he's 30, he should have 2 million. Plus he had enough to live on. That should go in 7 years. If he grows it at about 10% a year, it at least should have 1.5 million.
How do we know it's going to grow at 10%? Like average returns, right, in the stock market are around 7 or 8% generally, right? So how is he getting 10%?
Depending on how much he takes out of it. I mean, you can say that guy isn't doing great, but to me he is.
Yeah.
For his age. You got to age adjust it, by the way.
He's still doing fine.
So.
But it's like not liquid cash. Like he does not have access to $700,000 right now. He has access to whatever money he's making, renting the rooms or whatever he's doing with that property. But it sounded like he was renovating it. So I'm not really sure how he's monetizing it while also fixing it up.
Here, let's get into this. I got to go in about half an hour. So I'm going to try to.
Dude, you're the one who's holding us up. You keep humble bragging. Just tell us how to do it.
Just go through this as fast as I can.
Yeah.
How do you get them paying customers?
Yeah.
Easy. You start your own social media marketing agency. I call it for short. I came up with this term, SMMA. I'm just going to do that so I don't have to say the 4 words. SMMA. You start your own SMMA out of your house. Okay? You start it out
or in your garage
of your house. You take your iPhone and you start the business. Now, what do you do? Okay.
I will say this, as someone who's been doing this for close to 15 years, the idea of doing this all from my phone makes me want to die. Get even a basic computer, because the desktop version will allow you to, like, if you're running Facebook ads, for example, you can manage placements, and change the creative for different placements a lot easier than you can on the mobile device. So yeah, I would recommend having at least a super basic computer. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something that can access the internet.
You go to businesses, you make a list. A really good place is restaurants, dentists, or doctors.
I will tell you, restaurants are hard because their margins are low and they typically like among the cheaper people that I've met. I could see doctors or dentists because if you think about it, each one of their customers is worth a fair bit of money. So if you get a dentist, a new client, and that person goes to the dentist for 10 years, and you think, geez, even if they just do like basic dental stuff, a few $100 a year, that customer over the course of 10 years is going to be worth like at least $3,000, right, to that dentist. So they are willing to spend a fair bit of money to acquire someone who will eventually pay them $3,000, right, over the course of 10 years. Whereas a restaurant is selling you like a pizza. They're making like $20, $25 off a pizza, right? So they're willing to spend much less money to acquire that customer because that person, they might come back in for pizza, they might not. So it's not like we have an ongoing medical relationship with them as a restaurant. So I will say, maybe in LA or wherever the hell this guy lives, like, yeah, maybe restaurants are willing to pay that. But in a small town where I'm at, where there's these little restaurants, they do not have $1,000 a month to spend on social media marketing.
Okay. That's a really good place to start, because restaurants, bars, dentists, doctors. There's more, but let's just start with that. Restaurants are good because they have a building that they pay rent on, and they got all these tables empty, and they don't want them empty. They need a lot of people going through the tables, okay?
I will say the exception to the restaurant and bar thing is if they do like things like events. I feel like that could be pretty good, because if you're getting people through the door, or like I said, they're having regular events. So for example, if the restaurant has like a banquet room they can rent out for like rehearsal dinners, or like, corporate events, things like that. That's a high paying customer. And obviously an event, right? If a bar or restaurant is going to run an event and they want a couple of hundred people to come through that event over the course of a weekend, those people are going to be spending a fair bit of money. And instead of trying to reach an individual person, we're trying to sort of reach somebody who'd be interested in that event, which is, I think, a little bit easier to find people who are willing to spend that kind of money. So those are, I would say, the two exceptions to the restaurant bar thing. But yeah, dentists and doctors are in a different category. Anybody medical, right? Plastic surgeons or medi spas, I would put in there, that kind of thing. That's a whole category.
Bars, what's good about a bar? Same thing. And bars are rarely full. Like, they get hot for a while, then they get cold. Dentists are good because they charge a pretty high price. Mm-hmm. So and people are loyal to their dentist. So you bring them one customer this month, they'll probably be their customer for 10 years. So they get like 10 cleanings out of it. So one customer is worth $10,000 or more to them.
I don't know where he goes to get his teeth cleaned, but like, it's not that much. But yeah, I mean, I just said the same thing. But also with bars, alcohol is kind of expensive and a high profit item to be selling generally.
Yeah. And then doctors, like especially cosmetic surgeons and stuff, same thing. One cosmetic surgeon customer you bring them can make them $10,000 to $20,000. So that's it right there. You go after this list. We have a script. And basically the script is pretty simple.
I don't need help selling it. I need help. How am I going to get them the customers? Like, I can sell the idea that, hey, you probably need marketing help, but how do I guarantee that the $1,000 or the $2,000 or however much they're paying me is going to get them that same amount of money back? I can see in the medical scenario how it would be easier to say, hey, let's try this, because even if we just get them a couple of customers, clearly that's making more than enough money. But yeah, I'm not unclear with how I would go about selling it, I guess, but more of how would I guarantee them the results that they would need guaranteed.
I'll give you like the overview of it. You go to them and you say, hey, I went on your website and I noticed your social media, you have only like 10 followers, or you get like 10 likes on your Instagram, or I noticed you don't have a Facebook page. We live in the world of social media. That's where that's how you get customers, the internet. So you say to them, listen, I specialize in building your social media, in creating Facebook ads, Google ads for you.
Wait, why are we creating Google ads now?
Targeting your ideal customer, and I have them show up at your door. And with restaurants, you can do things like coupons. A restaurant creates a coupon. You advertise the coupon on Facebook. On Facebook, you can target local people, okay? Mm-hmm. And next thing you do, you get people coming in to that restaurant, and the owner's like, holy crap, I'm paying this person $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month, and I'm making an extra $50,000 a month. They're going to love you forever. They're not going to cancel you.
So he mentioned Google ads, like it's the same thing, but like I'm a little unclear. So are we doing social media organic posts for businesses? Are we running ads? Also, like most restaurants, they don't like to do coupons because their margins are really low or relatively low. So they're going to see like, oh, I'm paying a discounted rate. And if I would have just offered the coupon, I don't need this marketing person. The coupon's what got people in, not the marketing of the coupon. I could see them maybe potentially thinking that, but I don't know. We'll see how he finishes this off here.
Does that make sense?
Nope.
So this is a huge opportunity. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to warn you this.
You're going to warn me.
I warned people this in 2016. It's been multiple years. I said this eventually is going to stop working because once I train a certain amount of people, I don't know what that is. It's going to be a saturated market. It's not yet saturated, but it would have been better to get in 2016.
Oh my God. So he's like, this is a pyramid scheme. We got to get in early. Also, like, there's new businesses opening all the time. And to be completely honest with you, there's plenty of room in the marketplace for more marketing companies to be helping businesses, honestly.
You could still make a lot of money in it, don't get me wrong, but it was a little easier in 2016.
Sure.
Next year, it's going to be a little bit harder. And most trends last 5 to 7 years. So you got a year or two that you need to be built. So you got to start today because it's going to take you about 18 months to build this. But I will tell you, the most surprising thing known to mankind for me was people started getting results in a day or two. Okay? Somebody said, is this crazy competitive? No, you're on plan. If somebody thinks this is oversaturated, they know nothing. Because here's why. There's approximately 50 million businesses in the world. Okay? There's 20 million in the United States. 20 million. Let me repeat that. 20 million businesses.
Yeah.
I've only trained 30,000 people. Out of that 30,000, only like 10% of them actually put the work in. That's how life is. 90% of people lazy, 10% of people.
So unless you're trained by Tai, there is no way that you could be running a social media marketing agency in a legitimate way. Got it.
So I've only like probably out of those 30,000, about 3,000 of them are actually doing an agency. You think 3,000 agents, and the average agency has like 5 clients. So 3,000 times 5.
Wow, I must be well above average then, because I definitely have way more than 5 clients.
5 clients is 150,000 businesses, right? I'm sorry, 15,000 businesses. 15,000 out of 20 million.
You're not including people who run agencies who didn't learn from you. And there's plenty of those, I assure you. But yeah, I agree. Like the market, there's room in the market for more. And
every year, businesses more and more realize they need to go on the internet. So basically, you come in with a script, and here's what you say to them. You say a little bit of what I just said about how the internet's the future. Then you say, I looked at your website. I noticed I used Google Speed Test Analysis. That's a free tool that you can run before you talk to them. I noticed your site gets an F score. I notice you don't have Google Analytics. I notice you don't have the Facebook retargeting pixel. I'll teach you all this.
Google Analytics is completely different than social media marketing. So he's saying that you should be running like a digital agency or like getting into website development a bit. It sounds like these are completely different ideas. Just saying.
Stuff that you just tell them and they're like blown away. Like, who is this person? And then you say, I'll fix it. I'll fix it. So you come in and you fix you identify a problem that's specific. Don't just say, oh, I can make it better. You go, I noticed you don't have a Facebook page, Mr. Dentist. I noticed you don't have an email list. That is something, if you help companies get better at email.
Completely different idea. Email marketing is a completely different idea than setting up Google Analytics. It's a completely different idea than improving a website load time, which is completely different than organically posting on Instagram. These are all different things. These are all different skill sets.
Man, my email list, I make anywhere from 10,000 to 50,000 a day on average from my email list. Most businesses are lazy. I learned.
They're not. You have a giant list. Most businesses have pretty small lists. Yeah. Yes, my local pizza parlor is lazy compared to you, Tai Lopez. Or is it just that there's like a certain market for pizza and a certain radius they can sell pizza to? Oh, God, this guy. I love how he thinks he works harder than like a local business. Not true.
Now, when I owned nightclubs in North Carolina more than a decade ago, I would collect everybody's email. I go to nightclubs in LA and Vegas. They don't collect emails. I'm like, are you insane? You know how many people go through these clubs? So you teach people how to collect emails, and then you send the email once a week for the dentist or once a month or whatever, and you can do all kinds of stuff. You can send coupons, you can send refer a friend. The next thing you know, you've identified a problem, you've fixed it, and now you can upgrade your fee. You can go from charging $1,000 and you just say, one of my first students, Jaden Gross, who made $1.2 million doing this his first year, he never had a bank account before. He now raised his minimum rate is $5,000. So you can keep upgrading on customers. Even if you lose a few customers, you do a better work for them. It's literally that simple, what I'm trying to tell you. This is a golden formula of increasing your income today, this year, this week. The only thing about this, let's talk about the bad things, because I don't want to paint this as this is not a get rich quick scheme. It doesn't automatically work. You don't just like sometimes online there's things like just press this one button and you'll automatically start making money. Okay, that's not how it works. But
it's how
this is easier than people think. That's what I'm going to tell you.
You've made it sound like it's easy, though. That's the thing.
This is easier than you think. I repeat, this is easier than you think.
What'd you say?
Zach wants to hear it one more time. I'm working on a new whey protein company, by the way. I've got a hemp protein company now, but I'm working on whey.
So what, he's like product testing while he's giving this weird webinar? Like, okay. God, I have to count the humble brags.
See, it's another source of income. I have right here, I have about 30 here. 30 sources of active income. Some of them generate $100 a day. Some of them generate $50,000 a day. But I have a diversified income. This whey protein is another one. I'll teach you guys how to do stuff like that later. I'm not talking. You got to get your first one.
Yeah.
You got to get your first one. This SMMA concept works better than anything. I would put money that the rate of people doing this to the rate of people making money would beat anything I've ever seen in the world. Except with the exception of if you get a medical degree. If you get a medical degree, 99% of doctors are employed, but it also takes 12 years. So that's not a fair apples to apples comparison. Nothing. This is better than real estate for most people, but you should still do real estate. This is a better place to start. This is better than drop shipping and e-commerce, even though you should learn how to do drop shipping and e-commerce.
Oh my God, you should know how to do all these things, but like this thing is easy. Also, it is so, I find it incredibly insulting that someone thinks that something I've spent 14 years learning how to do and do well is something you could just learn in a couple of months and is super easy. Oh, this bugs me.
This is better than getting an art history degree at Azusa Pacific or some community college. This is like this thing works. It works fast and you don't need any cash to start. You can start this for $1. In fact, you probably own all the equipment you need. I do almost everything now on my phone, man.
Yeah, it's because you don't you're not like coding anything or like designing anything. You have a team of people that probably does those things. But if someone's just starting off, they're going to need to design their own Facebook ads. They're going to need to, be able to speed test the Google site or the Google speed test tool, and then figure out what on the site is making it load slow. Like, you're probably going to need, like I said, a super basic computer. Do you need the latest, Mac or something? No. I think a couple $100 on a computer that can load the internet is perfectly fine.
I don't even use my laptop anymore. Once in a while, I'd say I use my laptop about, 20 minutes a day maximum. Is age ever an issue concerning the creation and management of SMMA? Hey, how much time do I have left on Instagram? Oh, there we go. The good thing about this, if you're young watching this, there's one thing businesses will trust you with. That's their social media and internet.
God.
So if you're 18 and you walk into there's a kid, I played in a celebrity basketball game. DeMar DeRozan.
A celebrity basketball game. Okay, here's the thing though. Like, if people are going to be, if you're going to be running ads for people, for example, what I need to do is set up their, they need to set up an ad account with a credit card, and then they need to let me run ads with that card. So when someone, discloses financial information to you, whether it's their credit card, their bank account, sometimes Facebook makes you verify the business's identity, like as part of the Meta business suite setup thing. This is all sensitive information that honestly I would not charge with some 18-year-old that I just met. Okay, so just saying.
For
I actually coached it. Trevor Risa was supposed to coach.
Oh, I think his microphone stopped working.
What happened? I'm sure I'll check this out.
but it's red. Yo, can you hear me now?
It's red, yeah, and then
Can
that
you hear me?
yeah, and that pack is green, so now it's working.
Did you switch the audio input or whatever?
Yeah.
That one.
Nothing was switched.
That's red.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just told him that.
Battery's dead.
Yeah,
Now I think people can hear.
you said you were going to talk for half an hour, so maybe they planned that you might talk for an hour. We're at 15 minutes, so yeah.
Hear me. What's the last thing you guys heard me
Yeah,
say?
you don't have to repeat it. It's fine.
Someone said, "God damn it, Zach." People are mad at you.
They can hear you on this. I'm hearing it.
They're mad at you.
Okay, way better.
I love how all these people who have support staff are so disparaging of the support staff. I don't know. Maybe if you weren't making these passive aggressive comments at them, maybe they would, be able to anticipate problems a little bit better. But I know when someone treats me like they think I'm incompetent, I suddenly start acting a little less competent than I am. So anyway.
Microphone. All right, back to this. Just testing, see who's paying attention out here. Zach's a Leo. Leos don't always pay attention to details.
Oh my God.
No, but you're the first one to jump up to fix a problem.
Everything is everyone else's fault with these people. It's so funny.
Okay. What is the last thing anybody heard me say? Oh, celebrity basketball game. So I was saying, somebody asked me about age. What if you're young? Can you do this? And I was saying I coached this basketball team, a game for Trevor Risa's team, and a guy in the crowd comes up to me. I wouldn't say, I don't know his age, but he's between 18 and 22. And he goes, Tai, I just signed. One guy owns 18 Little Caesars pizza franchises in California. And I got him to pay me $500 or $1,000 per store. So he gets $9,000 to $18,000 a month just to do his freaking social media for all the Little Caesars that the guy owns. Now, if you're older, this is great because people are already going to trust you that you know what you're doing when you're older. So I don't think the age thing matters really. If you're 13, just find a business partner that's a little older. Maybe your uncle or your mom or your dad or something. But yeah, I mean, the average age of people doing this is younger than the average business, although there's plenty of people. I mean, there's top people. I'd say the average person's 27, but there's plenty of 18-year-olds. Definitely there's people under 18. Like I said, this one guy in Australia is making $17,000.
Yeah, and I'm 41 and I'm doing fine at this. So it's not only young people that can run this kind of business.
12,000 US. That's 17. This is a gold mine. Now, somebody said, what's the cons?
Yeah.
What's bad about this? Let me do one thing before I say that. Here's what I'm going to do. So I got this test group that I did in 2016. And then we took it offline. And then we brought it back on the line, but we had the price higher because I didn't want to get it saturated.
Yeah, that's
so
why.
The price has been a little, for the last, I don't know, year, it's been pretty high for people. So not just because I've only wanted people to get in who are really into it. But I'm going to do a partial scholarship for the next 7 days.
What a giver.
And this is very important. can only do this for about 400 people because that's all that fit in my house. Never done this before. If you get into the test group.
Oh, the limiting reagent is how many people he can fit into his house, because you have to go to his house to learn how to market on the internet. Yeah, that seems legit.
Where I'm going to train you in this, do online training for the next 4 months. It's a 4-month training program.
Yes.
You pay to get in it.
You mentioned
just like you pay to go to college.
Just like, if you hate education so much, why would you compare your thing to education?
Or you pay for a Subway sandwich. Some people are like, why do you have to pay? I'm like, well, you pay for everything else. You pay for education, right?
Pay for education.
So
even if,
this is just.
Yeah, and you could just take that money, you know, like if we would have just given kids the $200,000 that their primary and secondary education costs, like, you know, you can just take that money you'd spend with Tai Lopez and you can just invest it.
Faster, less expensive than college, and it's proven to work, okay? It's not just theory. If you get in now, I got 400 tickets to come to my house next month, okay?
You get to come to my house for free. That's right. You can come to my house for free. Like, as if it's a venue that you would need tickets for. Like, I got like these 10 behind the scenes tickets to like the San Diego Zoo. No. This is his house. He doesn't need to sell tickets to it.
Normally, I charge $2,500 for that. So not only are you going to get the 4-month online training that you can watch on your phone or your laptop at your own, but I'm going to actually open up my house. Assuming you're not weird, we reserve the right to kick anybody out who's some psychopath. But we're going to do it. We'll do it either at my house. If it's a little big, I might do it at a hotel conference room right down the street. But the point is,
I'm only going to let 400 people in because that's all that can fit in my house. But if it gets bigger, I'm going to move it. So, like, I don't know, just pick something and say it and stay with it. You contradict yourself. Like, one sentence ago, there's a contradiction already.
I'll train you in person. And I'm going to bring in about 4 other people who have built social media marketing agencies to train you too. So
don't worry, it's not going to be me.
Now, in the past, like I said, that's $2,500. I'm going to throw that in for free for anyone who gets in until it's full this week. It's only open this week. So we'll close it in 7 days.
Let's create false urgency.
So let me put a link up where to go if you want to jump in the test group, okay? Here's the good news. We have a 100% money back guarantee program.
But how do I know I can get them customers? I sell a restaurant $1,000 a month retainer, and I say, I'm going to use social media to get you customers. How do I make sure I can deliver on getting them $1,000 worth of customers, at least, if not ideally more than what they're paying me?
So if this goes for you, you try it, you don't think it's good, you can get your money back, okay? We have a very low refund rate, like 6% or 7%, which is really low.
I thought you said people were lazy and didn't do the program. I thought that was the problem.
When you offer a money back, 100% money back guarantee. So you go, now, if you're on Facebook, there should be a link as a pinned comment. Okay? If you're on YouTube, it should be in the title or the description. You got to go to this special link, because if you go on my website and click the button, you're going to click this is a secret link, a hidden link. If you're on Twitter, it's in the title. If you're on Instagram, let's pin the comment.
Secret linker.
Can you pin the comment on Instagram? If you can't find the link, just go here. I'm going to show you how to start your own marketing agency, show you how to increase your income. Just go here. That's a secret link, so to speak. TaiLopez.com, that's /market to teach you how to do marketing for businesses. Okay? TaiLopez.com /market. Let me see something. Bonus. Oh, we got all these bonuses here. There's other bonuses. I don't feel like going through them. I should be a better salesman. I don't try to sell this that hard because now it's proven if people
I'm trying to sell this that hard. I'm just doing an 1.5 hour long webinar.
don't believe in it, I'm like, okay, just don't do it. I don't care.
Okay.
One thing I've learned, help people that want to be helped, but never force somebody. Some people got to learn the hard way. Some people got to be broke for 20 years before they listen. So I'm not going to drag my quality of life. You can swap it out there. Can you put it there? So if you're one of those people that you don't think this is for you, I'm not going to spend, I spend zero time convincing people. It's stupid. That's like convincing a girl to date you.
I like how they're trying to like move it seamlessly and he like bumped into the screen.
If you ever convince a girl to date you and she don't want to date you and you're trying to convince her, you're like sending her an Excel spreadsheet of the pros and cons of dating you, you already lost that relationship, my friend. She's just, some people going to date you and some people aren't.
The guy looking from the back, he's like...
So here's a whole bunch of bonuses. You can't even read these. I'm throwing it. So it's a 4-month core program.
Also, like, why is it printed off and then like stuck on a that's so low budget? I don't know.
It's usually $1,000. So when you click the link, if you're on my site, there'll be a button below. You can just click the button below.
$997. All the prices ended as 7 with these gurus.
Or you can go to tailopez.com/market, or you can click the link on your live. If you go there, now you got a week. It might not last a week because I'm sure I'll sell more than 400 of these.
Yeah, because you said if it gets more full, you're just going to go to the local hotel.
Which is all the people that I can fit in either my house or this conference room down the street. Okay, in LA here. So you're going to get that. We have live calls to do training. We've got a vault of all the past calls you've missed. We have a persuasion program. How do you persuade businesses? How do you get better at sales? This is a $2,000 one. I don't even know why we're giving this for free. We have one to teach you social media secrets. I'm going to show you how to, look, I've hacked social media. I know how to get as many, in fact, I have the largest business social media following in the world. If you add up all my followers, I have 13 million followers. Now, some have more on specific platforms, but I got a lot. Formula, and I can teach you that formula, and you don't have to try to get 13 million followers or whatever, but you can do it for businesses, and then they'll pay you. That's the good news. So I'm going to teach you that. We have a private Facebook group, okay? That's a bonus. It's normally $500 to get in there. By the way, these are real numbers. It's not make-believe bonus numbers. People paid $500 to be in there. We got Good Life Mentor Package. This is on how to not just make money, but live the good life. So, and then this in-person ticket.
That's right. Apparently you need help living a good life. So there's a whole class on that. How to spend your money.
Normally it's $1,500. First 400 people will get in. I've never done this before. I didn't do it in 2016, 2017. I didn't do it this year. I got a video with Jordan Belford from a training from, the Wolf of Wall Street. He's a smart guy. We got Instagram. I'm going to give you Instagram strategies. I'm going to give you something called the Traveling CEO. I built about 2 years ago. It's how to travel the world while having fun and making money and get paid to travel the world. I give you the Vault, which is about 40 hours of past training that you
Can you imagine listening to him for 40 hours?
already missed. So normally that's $8,000. Well, I'm going to click the link. You'll see. I'm going to discount it all the way back, but only for a week. So go to tailopez.com/market / the word market, like marketing. Okay. I'm going to start reading off the names of people getting in the test group, by the way. College costs $20,000. Okay. So there's your math.
So you're saying your one class is the same as a 4-year degree?
Math for you. If you can't do the math, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to college, but I would try stuff that costs $200 a month versus costs $2,000 or $10,000 or whatever.
God.
Some colleges are 10. There's colleges that are. I just had Dr. David Buss here who used to teach at Harvard, and he was like, man, Harvard Business School. He went through the curriculum. He's like, they're learning a lot of irrelevant stuff, man. That's from a former Harvard professor. 200 G's.
That guy is so funny.
Hi, Zach. Yeah, you can also spend 200 grand if you would like to.
Yeah, going to Harvard Business School, I feel like that
So,
would get you some.
Sorry, I
like,
see names of people coming in. I just didn't read them yet. Congratulations to Anthony Grover. Congratulations to Philip Tai in Nebraska on Instagram. Welcome to the group. Congratulations to Juan Rivera. Didn't say what
Wait.
location you are.
Yeah, we don't need to know who's.
Or I don't
oh my
know.
God.
I don't know why
Hold
sometimes.
on. I'm gonna
Okay, somebody's client was declined.
I'm gonna fast forward this part here.
But here's the thing. You can either whine about life, which most people do, or you can just go, well, nobody's going to take care of me if I don't take care of myself, and just go out and do stuff on your own.
Yeah.
And a lot of you know something. I'm going to
You don't need this guy to show you how to take care of yourself, though.
talk on this for a second. Depression, anxiety, fear. A lot of people have depression. Some of it's hormonal sometimes, but
Whoa, are you about to say that people have mental health issues that can be, oh, you're not a doctor.
some people have when you don't have life purpose, you get bored, you get depressed. That's why celebrities kill themselves.
What the actual fuck?
I mean, there's different reasons. I'm not an expert on.
Oh my God, no, he does this the whole time, right? He like trots out a thing and then he's like, well, but I mean, I don't know about that. Okay, then why did you say it?
Suicide. I don't want to go down this politically complicated.
How is it political? You're not a mental health expert. You just you can't talk about it.
Conversation, but I'm just going to have a common sense one. Okay. Some people kill themselves because they have an actual physical ailment. They have too much, not enough dopamine or serotonin. I forget what it is. Like I said, I'm not an expert. But a lot of people have it all and then have no more challenge and purpose in life, and they get depressed and then don't always kill themselves, but
or maybe they've had an underlying issue and they thought, oh, when I make enough money, I'm going to feel better. And then they made enough money and they didn't feel better because there was an underlying. I'm not a medical person either, but I can think of reasons why a mental illness or a mental issue would come out later when you were more successful.
get bored and they get lost and life sucks and they're depressed. You need a purpose. And the way you get a purpose is something like this. Just go start something, man. Have something you can show people. You know what I'm saying? Have one you can show people. And you can just say, here's something I built. Like when I started out, my first business only made $12,000 when I was 19 years old. But I had something to show. I'm like, I built something. So I had purpose in my life. Then I went and I started a nightclub business. I had purpose. 2,000 people would come there. And it gave me purpose to wake up every day. And I wasn't depressed and I wasn't this because, again, I'm not oversimplifying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, if you lose your job, the worst thing you can do is sit around and complain about how you lost your job.
Yeah, you might also find purpose in things that are not your job. Maybe you have a family. Maybe you rescue animals. Maybe you're an artist who creates things. Maybe you volunteer for a worthy cause. Don't tie up your entire self-worth in what you do for a living. I say this as a self-employed person because, if I just wrapped up my entire identity in running my marketing company, I would be one bad month away from a breakdown, right? It's important that we have multiple interests that are not our jobs. So if you don't find purpose in your job, that's okay.
I promise you, nobody cares, even if they say they do. Twitter and all this stuff, so many people act like they care about you and they'll support you. And you see this on Facebook. People will post like, oh, I don't have enough money. I lost my job. And everybody's like, you go, girl. People are like, oh, I'm here for you. But they ain't going to pay your bills. At no time does that ever happen where you just post on your Instagram like, oh, life is hard. And then people go, what's your Venmo?
Have you been on TikTok? There's a lot of mutual aid going on there. And maybe what I will do is link to some articles basically proving that this is actually not the case. That, you can't necessarily expect people to pay, you know, your bills on an ongoing basis. But if you have a crisis and need help, like I'll see if I can find out like what percentage of GoFundMe campaigns get funded. I'll see if I can find, you know, examples of mutual aid and how people are banding together as, you know, cost of living increase. I think you should try to take care of yourself if you can, but I also think that if you're in a position where you need to ask for help, I think you should A, be able to do that, and B, if you see someone who needs help and you can help them, you know, please do.
Let me Venmo you some money. Like they'll Venmo maybe $1, but nobody's.
It's because no one is if it's because no one's helped you, that's hard, Ty. But if it's because you've never helped somebody else, I think that says a lot more about your character than you think it does.
Paying your bills. So at the end of the day, you can make that your life purpose. You see what I'm saying?
Paying your bills is your life purpose. Like, yeah, welcome to capitalism.
That is huge. Take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself, woman. Take care of yourself, in between man and woman, whatever the heck it is called now.
Non-binary.
Human. Take care of yourself. Financially, physically, health, wealth, love, happiness. This damn thing that I just showed you, if they had started training you this, I'm going to train you in 4 months if you get in the program. If they had started training you in this when you were a freshman in high school.
This didn't exist when I was a freshman in high school.
4 years of training, each and every one of you would have double the money in your bank account. Maybe triple, maybe quadruple.
Yeah, Facebook didn't come out until after I was in college. And that was one of the first, you know, social media sites. You know, Twitter, same thing. The website software I used to build websites did not come out until 2005. I graduated college in 2003. So we are constantly preparing students for careers that don't exist yet. We're supposed to be training them how to think, how to find information and evaluate it, how to read and understand what you've read. These are all skills that you learn in school, not necessarily specific skills, you know, of like, this is how you run an SMMA. But, you know, the idea is that if you know how to do all these things, if you can interpret data, if you can communicate, you know, in a presentation or written format or, you know, whatever the mode is, that you have options. You know, I do think that people should learn about investing as, you know, part of at least middle, but definitely high school curriculum. Sure. I think there should be part of that in an economics class. I also think that sometimes, you know, we think that school needs to teach everything, but kids are at school a certain amount of time, but they're at home most of the time. So also if you're, you know, a parent or if you have a young person in your life, and you can be teaching them these skills, that is super helpful as well.
Now, I'm not saying everybody in the world should do a social media marketing agency because then we'll obviously be saturated.
Yeah.
But it's not close to saturated. There's probably 3,000 to 5,000 of these in the world. On average, they have 5 customers. It's 15 to 20,000 businesses that are being serviced out of 20 million in the US.
I think there's way more than 3,000 to 5,000 social media marketing agencies. Just because he hasn't trained them doesn't mean they don't exist.
Less, and at least 50 million if you count global. At least. It's more. Because America, 20 million, doesn't even have 10% of the population. So it might be, nobody knows. It's hard to count. I don't know how many you count a roadside stand in Nepal as a business. I'm just saying business is big enough to pay you. There's 50 million of them. You know how many doctors, you know how many realtors there are in America? 1 million or more. Life insurance agents, they need customers.
I know, but a lot of them do it part-time. So like, I know multiple people in real estate and they typically have another job and they do real estate on the side. So a lot of them don't necessarily want to invest $1,000 a month into advertising their side business. They're doing it on the side. They don't necessarily have the cash flow for that.
Help them. I'm going to teach you what to do with them, how to create a brand story for them, how to create video marketing for them, how to start building an email list. The average business owner is 50 years old and they don't know. They're like my grandma.
Your grandma's 50?
My grandma, if you get although my grandma got on Facebook, she's 100 years old. So
nice.
At 100, you can do whatever you want. She doesn't care anymore. But most business owners, they're not going to do anything. Stephen Scott Oliver says he has 7 clients. Oh, by the way, if you are in my program now and you want to just post some success stories,
Yeah.
I just saw a few.
God. Okay.
Okay.
More looking at the phone. I'm going to fast forward.
I think I'm good. You have 1 week. You have less than 1 week, actually.
That felt like a threat. You have 1 week.
I will talk to you guys soon. Go here. Once that group fills up, I ain't going to have any tickets left.
No tickets left.
So,
oh my God. What are we going to do?
Good luck out there. I hope for those of you who don't get in the program, I hope you figure out a way. Go find a mentor, someone who's done it before, copy what they did, modify it a little bit, and you'll be good. Dream Chaser said SMMA is the greatest idea. Developing Tycoon said I have 3 drop shipping websites because of you. At first I hated your face, but now I love you. Or so that's you know, the way I marketed on YouTube got a lot of attention. It got a lot of hate, but over time the hate goes away, and then you have face recognition, which is what you want in branding. And you see that all over the place. You see that. That's the new way to do branding. You've got to be controversial a little bit. So you got to have thick skin. I had to have thick skin for quite a few years to go through all the weird people. Trust me, this planet is full of the most dysfunctional people. I mean, all of us, I guess, are dysfunctional.
I was going to say, are you like the pillar of functionality?
The internet has some whack jobs.
Yeah.
Whack. Drop shipping is going to go on boom because e-com is in a bubble. Yeah, they'll be drop shipping forever. You know why drop shipping and Amazon works? Why Amazon's basically the biggest company in the world, and Apple? Because
Apple does drop shipping.
The store comes to your house. Who the heck? And you know why Netflix works versus video stores and Blockbuster? Because the video store comes to your house.
Is he acting like this is revolutionary? We've had like e-commerce for like 25 years. And it really upticked. Like, he recorded this in the middle of the pandemic. Like,
the movie theater comes to your house. Basically, making stuff come to people's house is how you make money. Apple, this iPhone, brings like a computer that used to be on your desk right close to you. So basically, bringing things in a convenient way to people makes people pay you a lot of money.
Oh my God.
So, all right, I'm gonna head out. Thanks so much for being here. Congratulations to everyone who got in the group. Thanks for listening.
Then he just walks off. Okay. I just want to go see his landing page. All right. So here's the site. Now notice the video title said SMMA 3, but 3.0, but this is SMMA 2.0. So maybe the 3.0 isn't happening anymore. So love this video of him at like an oak desk with a bunch of books on there. Bold. I'm trying to read the titles of something magic, maybe. Okay, so join the social media marketing team. So there's our bonuses, and it looks like less than the bonuses he had on that screen, although he did say it was limited time. So this is how it works. So it's 4 months, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. And at the end of the time period, you'll be given a social media marketing certification. So get started now. Here's what people have to say. Oh my God. Okay. So that did start playing a video testimonial, but like the frame is not the right size. And I'm just going to see it and make sure I know how much it costs. So there it is. There's SMMA, select a payment plan. So I can do 1 payment, or he said I can do 4 payments of under 2. I can get in for under $200 is what he said to start off, but I have to do that 4 times. And this is all the things I get. I don't feel like confirming that what's written on here is the same that's on the webpage. It's the same as what he said in the video. I have a feeling there might be some differences, but the same idea is that there's like all these bonuses and you're paying $997, which is a guru type price. So what did we learn from Tai Lopez? Well, we learned his formula, which he thinks is as fundamental as E equals MC squared, which is 3 kinds of active income going into 2 forms of passive income And the money you make off of the passive income should be funding your lifestyle, which should be obviously pretty opulent. Don't worry. I think in this course we learn how to live life abundantly. So yeah, running a social media marketing agency, or SMMA, basically becomes the 2A of that equation I just showed you. So it becomes not, your career is 1A and this is 2A, which is like a primary business, a primary side business that you can run apparently no matter what, like no matter what your background. If you're 16 years old, you can run this with absolutely no experience, as long as you're trained by him for 4 months. So the basic idea of this business is you identify and fix online issues for small businesses in your area. So he says, look in the 25-mile radius, make a list of businesses. He suggests restaurants, dentists, doctors, and bars. And he says, go up to them and say, hey, I'm going to get you more customers, and offer them, 3 levels of retainer. So you're going to charge them between $1,000 and $10,000 a month, and you're going to get them more customers. He's going to give you the script and you're going to be able to sell it. Now, you being able to deliver on this was not at all touched on, but I guess that is why we have to pay him $997 to learn how to do this. Do I think Tai Lopez knows what he's talking about? I mean, he's been online for a while, so probably, but do I think that you need to watch 40 hours of this guy talking to learn how to do this sort of thing? I don't. I feel like you could watch a lot of people and learn how to do this sort of thing. And even if you wanted to specialize, like, you don't need to learn how to do all the, Google Analytics and everything. You could just be like, hey, I am really good at running people's Instagram accounts. And even if you were paid $500 a month by a business to run their, to post stuff on Instagram to them, to answer messages, to, whatever, maybe you could throw in a little ad set once in a while in that fee. And you did that for 10 businesses, like that's $5,000 a month. You're not doing bad. So you can specialize if you want to. You don't have to learn how to do everything. And I do think there are better people to learn it from than Tai Lopez, that's for sure. So yeah. And if you do need help marketing your business, or want to get in touch with me about an idea for a marketing guru or a specific training you want me to react to, you can leave me a comment on this video, or you can message me on my website and I will fill out that form and I get that. So I'm totally open to, if you're a potential client, or if you're just, like I said, somebody watches these videos and has ideas of things you want me to react to. And if you want to see past episodes, there's a whole Nicole Reacts playlist on YouTube that you can consume. It's also on our website. If you're on the blog, there's a Nicole Reacts category, so you can watch past episodes. These are really fun for me. So thank you so much for watching and indulging in my little creative side project here. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. And I will see you next time. Take care.